Yes, we'll go through all the information, but yes, you will be receiving a recording and a certificate for this session in a couple of days after it. So, but we'll give you more information in a little while.
Good. People from everywhere.
Yes.
Well, top of the hour. Are you ready, Kath?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So we have 180 participants so far, but we are increasing by the minute. So while people are still getting in, but we're getting started right now. So officially, good morning, everybody. And welcome to today's webinar, Inspiring Curiosity, Communication, and Creativity in the Young Learners Classroom, presented by Katherine Stannett and Andrew Tiffany. I'm very, very happy to be hosting this session today. My name is Fernanda de Oliveira, and I'm a product marketing manager for the Young Learners programs at National Geographic Learning. And I'm very excited because we will be seeing examples of how to inspire curiosity, communication, and creativity from one of our new titles, Imagine, today, which is a new NGL primary series. And we have lots to learn with Kath and Andrew today. So before we get started, I would like to take a minute just to go over some of the functionality of the webinar platform. So first off, at the bottom of your screen, you will notice that there are several icons. The first button on the left is the chat function, which all of you have been using it a lot since you joined. That's great. Be sure to send your messages to all panelists and attendees, everyone, to ensure that the whole group can read your message, okay? And as a reminder, please keep the chat focused on the session, on what we're discussing here on the session. All right, finally, we'll be sending along a certificate of attendance and a recording of the session within 5 business days of the webinar. Okay, so don't worry, you will all be getting your certificate and a recording, but it will get to you through email within 5 business days of the webinar. All right, so without further ado, I'm pleased to introduce today's speakers. Right, so let's start with Katherine. Katherine Stannett is an author with over 20 years of experience. She spent 2 years in Japan in the 1990s, teaching English to a wide variety of students in many different settings. She is the co-author of several successful secondary series and has also written articles, songs, and raps for many popular EFL magazines. Kath has written 2 levels of the new National Geographic Middle School series, Impact, 1 level of the new National Geographic primary series, Look and Imagine, and she is a co-author of New Close Up. She has given presentations and run workshops in many countries around the world and also conducts webinars from her home office in the UK. So this is Kath. We're very happy to have you here. We have you here with us, Kath. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And let me tell you a little bit about Andrew Tiffany. He is a senior academy consultant for National Geographic Learning. Andrew has over 25 years of teaching experience, including 15 years of teaching and teacher training in Greater China. Originally from New Zealand, he has a master's degree, TEFL certification, and has worked with both EFL learners and international school learners from pre-K to 12 in English and subject content. Because he has taught some fascinating STEM subjects in the past, Andrew likes to take big ideas and break them down to the basic elements that work to find ways of doing things efficiently and effectively. He enjoys helping others develop and grow and works with teachers to inspire and foster a love of learning in their students. Well, now that you know a little bit more about our presenters, I'm going to hand it over to you, Katherine.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you to everyone for coming along and giving up your spare time to find out a little bit about Imagine, our new series for young learners. So I'm going to share my screen now and then Faye, if you can just confirm for me that it's looking good and that I'm showing the right screen. How's that?
It's loading. And we can see it now.
Excellent. Okay, good. So let's start off by talking about Imagine. As Faye said, I'm one of the authors of Imagine. I wrote one of the levels, and it's a course for young learners. So what were we thinking when we started to talk about developing this course? Well, depending on where you grow up, most young people will spend somewhere between 11 to 14 years at school, which is a really long period of time. And of course, it's a really important period of time. And that's not just because of what they learn academically, all those things like the vocabulary and the grammar and, you know, in other subjects, the dates and the facts and the statistics. So it's not all that. But of course, the other really important thing that students are learning at school is what they learn about themselves as individuals and how they fit into the world. And because it's such a long journey and it's such an important journey, we want to make sure that it has the very best possible beginning, because if you give students the right beginning, then they're full of the desire to carry on learning. And we want our students to be really eager and motivated and excited when they walk into a classroom. We want them to feel as if they're starting out on an adventure, they're beginning some kind of expedition. And on this expedition, they're going to find out amazing things and have a lot of fun. That's the kind of ideal that you have when you've got those really young learners coming into your classroom. And the good news is, and you will know this if you are teachers of young learners, and particularly if you work with preschoolers, is that the really little ones are just naturally curious. So any parent would tell you that once children start to speak, say between the age of 2 and 3, one of the very first words that they will use is why. They want to know why. It's their natural curiosity. They'll say, why is the sky blue? Why is it dark at night? Why can't I take my favorite shoes and wear them in bed? So they always have these why questions. They have this natural sense of curiosity. They're eager to learn. And that's what we need to kind of harness when they come into the classroom, so that they still have that natural sense of wanting to learn more. And so when we were developing Imagine, we had a motto in mind, thinking about all of that. And our motto was, always be curious. ABC. We wanted a course that would be fun for learners, fun for the teachers, because you have to teach it, so you should enjoy teaching it as well as the learners. And of course, with National Geographic Learning, we always think about wanting to teach the young learners about the real world. So we want to bring the real world into the classroom and show the learners what an amazing place it is and an inspiring place it is. So we want a course that would encourage our students to always be curious, and also that will be as easy as ABC to use, so that you teachers can just literally pick up the book, walk into the classroom and start teaching it, and you know that your kids are really going to enjoy it and have a lot of fun with it. So how do we do that? Let's imagine the kind of classroom that you would really want to teach in. And I'm imagining a classroom that has suddenly magically turned into a flying classroom. And in this flying classroom of your imagination, you can take your students anywhere in the world. So where do we want to go? If we can go anywhere in the world in our classroom, where do we want to take our students? Well, how about if we take them under the sea? Imagine showing this amazing bedroom to your students. What do you think they would want to know about it? Why don't you ask me some questions in the chat box? Tell me what you'd like to know about this bedroom. Tell me where you think it is and what questions you might have and what questions your students might have. It's under the sea, yeah. Why is it underwater? Very good question. Is it in the ocean? Yeah. Why are they living under the sea? How deep is it? Where's the bathroom? Well, that is a very, very good question. Yeah. Can we swim with the sharks? Yeah. What's the point of it? What's the purpose? Is it a big aquarium? So can you imagine if you're showing this picture to your students in the classroom, how they're going to have so many questions just like you? Is it safe? Can we swim with the sharks? They're going to be really excited to see that. So let me tell you a little bit about it so that you have some background. This is actually in the Paris Aquarium, and it was specially built as part of a competition. So there was a competition in 2016, and it was to try and get people more interested in the ecosystem and interested in sharks and realizing that sharks are really important. They're not just scary. And if you won the competition, you could spend a night in this amazing bedroom, and you would share the bedroom with someone called Fred Beal, I think it's pronounced, who's a world record breaking free diver and an underwater photographer and a shark enthusiast. So you spend the time there and he would explain to you all about the different sharks swimming around. So there are 35 sharks. It is a bedroom inside a shark tank in the aquarium. It has a 360-degree view. It's 10 meters under the water. There's room for 4 guests and there's 3 million liters of water. So that's a really exciting place for your students to stay in. And I can see you're still thinking of more questions which your students might ask, which is absolutely great. So if you're teaching this in the classroom, the great thing is that our teacher's book will have lots of information about every single photograph. So you'll be able to tell your students all about it and really capture their imagination and capture their excitement. And how can you use this picture in the classroom? Well, you can ask some of the questions that you can, or rather you can get your students to ask some of the questions that you've been asking. You can do a really simple vocabulary check with them by saying, name some animals that live in the ocean and see how many words they already know. You can say other exciting places where you can see animals, where you can sleep and see animals. So perhaps they might think of going on a safari, sleeping in a tent in a desert, or sleeping in a treehouse in the Amazon jungle. So there are all sorts of different places where you could spend a night and see some amazing animals. Or you could even give them a really, really simple writing task, which is, imagine you're actually there, imagine you're in this room, send a text to your best friend or write a postcard and describe what the place is like and what you can see. So all sorts of exciting ways that you can start this lesson and get your students really, really involved and interested and inspired and curious. Right, so that's our first stop on our magic flying classroom. And now I want you to start the engine again. We're going to be heading off somewhere else. Let's see where we're going to go this time. Where is our magic classroom going to take us? Right. So you can see the caption there. What is this window looking out onto? What can you see? What's the boy looking at? What can you see out of the window? A soccer game? Yep, a soccer field. And as I'm from the UK, I would say a football field, football match, yep, playground. Okay, so it's a stadium actually, it's a stadium. So this boy is called Nicky Jensen, and he is 6 years old, and his home overlooks a sports stadium in Sisimiut, which is in Greenland. So Sisimiut is on Greenland's western coast, and it's just 75 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle. And here's an interesting thing about Greenland. So in Greenland, the annual football season or soccer season lasts for less than a week. So in most other countries, when we have a football season, it lasts for several months. But in Greenland, it lasts for less than a week. Why do you think in Greenland, the football season only lasts for less than a week? Can you guess? Can you put in the chat box why you think that might be? Weather, snow, too dark? Yep, absolutely. That is one of the reasons. Can you think of something else you might know about Greenland? Do you think Greenland is a small country or a big country? What do you think? Is it a small country or a big country? It's huge. It's an enormous country. So in fact, it's just not possible for the teams to travel to different stadiums It would just take too long, and the players in all the teams are amateurs. They're not professionals, so they simply can't have that time to do that. So they can't have a proper long season. So instead, it all happens in 1 week, and most of them travel by boat, not always, but most of them. And basically, yes, you just said in the chat, will eat most of their time traveling. Exactly. So they take this boat and they pick up all the team members in the boat until they arrive at wherever the stadium is, and it's a different stadium each year. And the weather is, you're absolutely right when you're talking about the weather as well. That's another factor, because basically they can't have grass pitches most of the time. The weather isn't good enough for it. So they play indoors most of the time. So they've just got this one window, this 1 week. Okay, so how can you use this with your students? Well, you can start off again, just with some vocabulary checks. So how many sports can you mention, can you think of that you play with a ball, and see how many sports they already know the name of, and how many sports with a ball can you actually play? Or you can ask your students to imagine if you could just play one sport non-stop for 1 week, which sport would you choose? It's always really nice to personalize things, to bring students back. And as you will know, students like nothing better than talking about themselves. So if you get them to imagine something and personalize it for themselves, that's always interesting and engaging. Or you can also ask them, if you could live in a house that had a view of anything, what would your dream view be? You know, would you like to have a view of the beach, or a football stadium, or I don't know, stage of a theater, or a mountain? What would your dream be? So there are so many things that you can get your students' imaginations working, getting them really curious, getting them thinking and getting them excited about the topic that you're going to teach. Right, my magical flying classroom is once again ready to move on to somewhere else. And this is my last journey I'm going to take you on today. So this time we're actually going to visit a classroom. We're going to visit a classroom, but this classroom has got a very special visitor. So let's see who the visitor is to this classroom. What can you see? What's the visitor? Flamingo, exactly. Yeah, it's a flamingo. Why do you think a flamingo is visiting a classroom? Okay, if you can read the caption there, it says Bob the Flamingo visiting a school in Curacao, which is the Dutch Caribbean. So why do you think a flamingo might be visiting a classroom? Could be a science lesson. The flamingo wants to learn, yeah. Students are going to talk about animals, could be for conservation, could be a student's pet. Yeah, yeah, those are all possibilities. So let me tell you the true story. Oh, I like that, to teach us to be tall and confident. That's great. So let me tell you the true story of why Bob the Flamingo visits schools, and he visits all sorts of schools in Curacao. So Bob is actually a rescue flamingo, and he was injured. He was injured and he can't live in the wild anymore. And one day in 2016, he flew into a hotel window and he was taken to the local vet, who's called Odette Durst. And she runs a wildlife rehabilitation center. So if you look at that picture, you can see the lady in the purple jacket and the hat. That's Odette, and she's the vet, and she looks after Bob in her wildlife rehabilitation center. And she actually has about 90 animals on her sanctuary. But she discovered that of all these animals, Bob is the one who loves being with people. He loves being with children, and the children absolutely love him. So she started taking him into schools to teach people about the community, to teach people about nature and the environment. And after seeing Bob, the children start thinking more about the environment because it's suddenly real to them, and real in a way that reading something or watching a video maybe isn't as real as seeing an actual bird in their classroom. Is very exciting, and then they start thinking more about the environment. So how could you use a picture like this and a story like this to inspire our students' curiosity? Well, of course, just as I did, you'd probably ask your students why they think Bob is in the classroom. And then you can ask them if they'd like to have a flamingo in their classroom, or if not a flamingo, what would be their dream animal to have in the classroom. Interestingly, when my older daughter was about to do her national exams when she was 16, the school brought in lots of animals, like therapy animals, into a special room, and any students who were feeling nervous before their exams could go into the room and interact with the animals, and it would just calm them down. So my daughter had a very nice time holding a chicken, she told me. Who would have thought, but it made her feel much better. So all sorts of reasons you can bring animals into the classroom. And then something else you can ask your students to think about is Bob was injured and he can never live in the wild. So what kinds of things do you think can hurt animals? And you can get students to think about that and then reveal the fact that Bob was actually probably injured, we think, because of plastic in the oceans. And that's one of the reasons why he's such a good advocate for the environment. And he really makes students think about picking up trash and keeping the oceans clean. And then, of course, you can ask students to draw a picture of Bob and label it, because you can go beak and eye and head and neck, obviously, and wings. So there are lots of words that they can practice. They can think of 5 adjectives to describe Bob. Or they could imagine that Bob has visited their classroom and think of some funny things that might happen. So those are just 3 pictures that I've shared with you, and I just pulled them out of Imagine so that you could see the kind of really inspiring ways that we hope you would start a lesson, the ways that you can get your children really excited and curious right from the start. And Imagine is a course that's absolutely filled with pictures like this from real life that will make your students curious, make them want to ask questions, and make them want to listen to the answers. And as I said earlier, in the teacher's book, we've made sure that we have all the information available about all these pictures. So you can be sure that if you go in and your students ask you a question, if you check the teacher's book, you'll have the information that you need to tell them a bit more about the pictures. But even if you don't have time to study the teacher's book, if you're just picking up the student's book and you're rushing into a lesson, the great thing is that this is a book that is as easy as ABC to use. So you really can take it straight into the classroom. So this is my part of the talk done, and I hope I've shown you just some of the ways that we've used real life stories to inspire our young learners to be curious and motivate them to ask questions. And now I'm going to hand over to Andrew, and Andrew's going to show you an actual lesson. He's going to teach you a lesson, and you'll see how easy it is to teach with Imagine. And then I'll come back to you at the end of the lesson. So enjoy your time, and I'll hand you over to Andrew.
Okay, hello, thank you, Kath. Can I share my screen? Thank you very much. Let me just get my screen set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scare you with that picture to start with, but then I'm going to give you kind of an example of what I would do with students with this material. So a lot of my background is in teaching. I've taught lots of different kids, all the way from like 3 years old, all the way to teenagers and beyond. But what the material that we're going to look at today, the example material, is actually from level 1 of Imagine, and it's a primary program. So level 1 would normally be grade 1, right? So the students are like 6 or 7 years old. This particular lesson is from towards the end of the level. So the students would have learned some basic language already. They're still learning, you know, vocabulary and sentence structures and things like that, right? But I'm going to go through it a lot like I would with my students. Now, some things, as Kath was describing, some of the questions and discussions you might have with students, sometimes you wouldn't be able to do those in English all the time. If the students want to express, maybe they want to use their home language, right? What I will do for this is I'm going to stick to English language that I would use in an English classroom with 7-year-olds, just to show you that you can do it too. You don't necessarily need to use their home language, although there's really nothing wrong with that, right? The home language is a really useful resource when you're teaching anything. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to take off your adult hat and put on your 7-year-old hat, pretend you're 7, for a few moments. I'm gonna go into teacher mode, and we're gonna take a look at some lesson parts together today, including a little bit of phonics, a little bit of reading, and a couple of other things, right? Okay, everybody, so we've seen this picture before. What is this? What animal is this? In the chat box, can you tell me? What animal is it? Chameleon. Nice job. Very good. Yeah, it's a chameleon. What color is it? What color is it? It's green. That's right. Yeah, it's a green chameleon. Now, is this chameleon big or small? Is it big or small? It's big. It's huge. It's small? Medium size? We're not sure. Okay, let's take a look. Let's look at the picture. Where is this chameleon? Where is he? Where is he? He's at the beach. Yeah, he's not actually that big. It's just the camera is very, very close, right? Yeah, it's like, he's like this. Hello, I'm a chameleon. But anyway, but yeah, he's at the beach. We learned this last time. Now let's see. This chameleon is green. There are green chameleons. I'm going to switch my page. Let's see. So what about red chameleons? In the world, are there red chameleons? What do you think? Yes? Yes? Yeah, there are. That's right. Yes, there are. Right? There are red chameleons. Yeah. What about, are there blue chameleons? Are there blue chameleons? You think so? Yeah. Yep, there we go. There's a blue chameleon. Very cool, right? Yeah. Now, what about white chameleons? Are there white chameleons? Are there white chameleons? Everybody's still saying yes, almost. Yeah, well, here you go. Here's a white chameleon. Yes, there are white chameleons. There are white chameleons. Wow, right? Cool. What about crazy chameleons? Are there crazy chameleons? Yes, there are definitely some crazy chameleons, right? All sorts of crazy colors because they can change color. We know that already, right? Yeah. So I have a question. If you were a chameleon, what color would you want to be? What color would you want to be? Pink, camouflage, violet, fuchsia. Okay, very nice. Yellow. We had someone this morning say that they wanted to be a gold chameleon. I think they wanted to be a wealthy chameleon. Maybe not gold plated, just gold color. A clear chameleon. Oh, you want to be transparent. So no one can see you really. Okay, interesting. Very nice. Okay, so let's go back. We've talked about chameleons. We've seen chameleons in lessons before. So let's take a look and remember our vocabulary for this unit, because I have some questions later about this. So we've already learned this vocabulary before. We're going to do reading today. But if you remember the beach, right? The beach is nice and flat and you wear a hat, so it's very sunny. So beach, we have our actions for our words, right? A beach ball, right? A boat. So here's our boat, right? Ice cream. Good job. Okay, the ocean, very good. The sand, a sandcastle, boom, right? A shell, so if you put your hands up here, you can hear the ocean, yeah? And then a sun hat, right? A sun hat to keep the sun off your eyes. So we've learned all this before, right? We've learned all this one. And we learned some grammar before. If I go over here, we learned this grammar. There isn't a sun hat on my head. There aren't boats in the ocean, right? Is there a sun hat? Do you see a sun hat? No, there isn't a sun hat on my head. Is there hair? Is there hair? No, there isn't hair on my head either. No, no, sorry, because I'm older. That's okay. Natural, just go natural. Okay, very good. Okay, but what we're going to do today is we're going to do some reading. But before we do the reading, we need to warm up with some phonics. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to here and we're going to go boom, boom. Okay, and we're going to look at some phonics to start. Okay, now the phonics, there's a lot of phonics. We haven't looked at the phonics, but let's just look at one little piece up here, just this little piece. Okay, so on the left here, we have some letters. We have A, E, I, O, and new letter U. So what does A sound like? What sound does A make? And if you could talk to me, you would be saying, ah, ah, ah. That's right. Good job. A, ah, ah, ah. E, what sound is E? That's right. Very good. I, good. O, very good. Now, what about you? What sound does you make? So you is right? So it's like if I stand up a little bit, take your fist, punch yourself in the stomach. Right? It's a little bit like that. Okay. So everybody say with me. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Nice. Now over here on the right hand side, I have how many U's? 5 U's, right? Can you say with me 5 times? Are you ready? Ready, go. Good job. 5 us. Okay. Now what we've got, I've got some other hidden things here. Let me see. I need to move the chat box out the road. And let's see. I'm going to take away this one first. Bye-bye. Ooh, some more letters. So we've got g and s and p and k and sorry. And we're going to do a quick phonics chant to warm up. Okay. So take your left hand. This is your U sound. This is okay. And your right hand is, I know I'm doing it opposite because I'm mirroring, because you're little and you just follow what I do. I'm mirroring. So this is your right hand. So you're going to be like g, g, g. Okay. So we're going to go like this. We're going to go g, 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 ugh. Okay. So follow me. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. G, 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 ugh. Very good. Okay. Now let's do the next one. Ready? Ready? Us. Very good. Next one. Up. Good job. Last 2 really fast. Go. G, 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 ugh. And Good job. Nice. Okay. Now we need to put the front on the words. So let's take away this one. Here's the front. Aha. So this time, this one is b. Okay. And this one is ugh. Okay. So we're going to go b, b, b. Ugh, bug. Okay, so let's do all 5 really fast. You ready? Go. B, b, b. Ugh, bug. B, b, b. Us, bus. K, k, k. Up. Cup. J, j, j. Ugh, jug. Un. Run. That's right. It's not r. It's right? Run. Because it's not run. Right? It's not run. Okay. Very good. Okay. So we've had some fun with some phonics. That's good. Now there are some words we can see. If I just take my eraser away, go away, eraser. There we go. Take my eraser away. Let's see, what are our words here that we've got? We've got bug. Number 1 is bug. We've got bus, cup, jug, and run. Okay. Now we will learn these next time. We've got more things to do. You can see lots of things on the page, but we're not going to do them today. We're going to do some reading. So let me see if I get this right. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Ooh, here's a picture. What do you see? What is this? What do you see? What's here? What can you see? Water, very good, or water, depending on where you're from. Okay. Is it a pool? You're swimming? You think swimming? A girl is swimming? Why do you say a girl? Why do you say a girl is swimming? And we could get into a discussion, but let's not do that. Right? Girl, you think a girl is swimming? A kid? You think it's a kid? Really? Not a teacher? It's not a teacher? No, you think it's a kid? Okay. Well, let's go down a little. What do you see now? What do you see now? There's something here, right? What's that? So let me see. I want you to practice. We're going to take your 2 small fingers and put them on your thumbs like that, right? And your other fingers up in the air like that, okay? And then you're going to put it on your face like that. So now you look like this girl, right? So what is this? What is this thing? What is this? Goggles, yeah, or a mask. That's right, a mask. And not this mask. No, we're not talking this mask. No, not this one. Mask. So this one is a mask, okay? A mask for swimming, right? Okay, very good. Okay, now what is that thing? Maybe you're 7, so you don't know a lot of these words. That's okay. What is this thing? She has something in her mouth like this. Not this way, that's a cell phone, right? Okay, this way. What is this thing? What is this? A snorkel, that's right, it's a snorkel. Why does she have this one? Why does she have that one? Why does she have snorkel? To breathe, that's right. Breathe, okay. Can you do this in the water? Can you do in the water? No, I don't think so, right? No, okay. So yeah, so these are 3 words in our reading. Let's look at the words in the reading. Here we go. So we've got number 1 is our mask. We've got our mask, right? Number 2 is breathe, breathe, okay. And number 3 is snorkel, snorkel, snorkel. If you have the snorkel in your mouth, you can't talk, okay? So you sound like you're underwater, okay. So that's your snorkel, okay. Now let's see, what else? What other things can we see in our picture here? So let's go down a little bit more. Oh, they're swimming clothes, right? They're swimsuit. What colors are they? What colors are they? What colors? Red, very good. And black, that's right. And a little bit of blue, maybe. And then what are they? What are these things? What are they? What are they? Fins, yeah, or flippers, maybe. Yeah, very good. And then go down to, oh, okay, what's this? What are they? Fish. So where are these 2 people? Where are they? At the beach? Maybe. In the ocean? Yeah, I think they're in the ocean because there's so many fish. Do you have fish in a swimming pool? Can you imagine a fish? And can you imagine fish in a swimming pool? That's kind of crazy. Yeah. Wow. So lots to see here. Yeah. Okay. So let's take a look at the reading. Here's our reading. Okay. And actually, let's open it a different way. I'm going to open it a different way. We're going to open it like this, and then we can find our words. Here we go. We can find our words, right? So where, now if you could point, I would say, can you point to where you see masks? And you'd be like, it's here, teacher. Okay, very good. And breathe, very good. And snorkels, yeah, we find the words, okay. Now, what other vocabulary words did we have from earlier? What vocabulary words can you see? What vocabulary words can you see? Yeah, boat, good job. Yeah, there's boat. Nice, right? Ocean, good. Yeah, fish. Yeah, fish wasn't a vocabulary word, but that's okay. Yeah. Beach. Is there beach here somewhere? Can you see beach? I don't think so. No, maybe it's just ocean and boat. That's okay. Yeah, school. That was from Unit 1. We talked about school in Unit 1 with Bob. Okay, very good. So let's see. Now we did short U. We did Can you see some words in here as well? Can you see any words? Sun. Nice. There's sun. Very good. Any more? Any more? Under. Very nice. Good. And but. Very nice. Okay. Oh, and fun. Is there fun? Is there fun here somewhere as well? Someone says fun, but I can't find it. I don't think it's here. That's okay. Doesn't matter. It's a good, fun is a good word. We will have some fun. Okay. But first, let's do the reading. Now, time out for 1 second. Is just depends on how your students are. You might read with them. They might be able to read a lot of the words. Maybe not. We'll talk more about the reading later, but there's also audio. So I'm going to take the audio route today, but you could do this in a lot of different ways with your students. Okay, so time on, teacher mode on. Okay, let's listen. I'll just make sure my sound is shared. It is. Let's listen to the reading, and you can follow with your fingers in your book and follow with your eyes on the screen. Okay, here we go.
It's vacation time. The sun is in the sky. It's a nice day.
Very good. So the little yellow things make it easy, right? Okay, let's see. Is it night? Is it night? Is it night? No, it's not. It's day, right? Very good. What's in the sky? What's in the sky? What's in the sky? The sun. Yeah, good job. The sun. Nice. Okay. Good. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
These 2 children aren't at school. Look, They're in the ocean. But they aren't in a boat. They're in the water.
Very good. Ah, a boat. Are they in a boat? Are they in a boat? No, they're not in a boat. Are they in a car? Are they in a car? No, they're not in a car. Are they at school? No, they're not at school either. So where are they? Where are they? They're in the ocean. Yeah, they're in the ocean. They're under the water. Yeah, exactly. Cool. Okay, let's look. Let's look a little more.
The children can see. They have masks on their faces. They can breathe under the water too. They have snorkels.
Very good. So what do they have? What do they have? They have masks. That's right. They have their masks. Very good. What else do they have? They have snorkels. That's right. They have snorkels too. Yeah. So let's see. They have masks on their faces. So can they see under the water? Can they see? They can. So if we take the mask off, can we see under the water? If we take off the mask, can we see? Not really. Yes, maybe. No. It's blurry. They can still see, probably. Okay, lots of answers, right? Yeah, maybe some people are like, it's okay, I can see. But maybe other people are like, it hurts, right? And so they can't open their eyes. Maybe, right? Yeah, okay. What about their snorkel? They can breathe, right? So no snorkel. Can you breathe underwater? No snorkel. No, don't try at home, okay? Don't try at home, right? Only use your snorkels. Okay, very good, okay. Now, last one, let's do the last one.
Are there fish in the water? Yes, there are. Look, how many fish can you see?
How many fish can you see? How many fish are there? Lots. That is a correct answer. There are lots, more than 10. Yeah, there are lots of fish. Actually, let's go back to here. Maybe you can try and count them. If I go back to the bigger screen, we come down here. How many fish? How many fish? Lots of fish. Here's the quick way to count. 1, 2, miss a few, 49, 50. Right? 1, 2, miss a few, 49, 50. I counted before. I think there was about 45 or 50 fish, right? Yeah, there's a lot of fish. That is quick. I'm a math teacher too. Okay, good job. So let's see. There are lots of things here, but we have some questions. So we did part A about vocab. We did part B about reading. Now we have to do some questions. So how many children are there? How many children are there? There are 2. Very good. So can you say, there are 2 children? Use the whole sentence, right? There are 2 children. Yeah, good job. Where are the children? Where are the children? They're under the water. Yeah, they're in the water. They're in the ocean. Cool. Yeah. Number 3, what do they have on their faces? What do the children have on their faces? Yeah, they have masks. Do your masks again. You might think this is silly doing this, but actually it's good for your fine motor skills, right? Because you're only 7. You need to practice your fine motor skills. Number 4, can the children breathe under the water? Can they breathe under the water? Yes. Why can they breathe under the water? Why? Why can they breathe? Because they have a snorkel. That's right. Yes. Very good. Okay. So maybe that sentence structure you haven't learned in English yet. That's okay. We'll get there. Okay. What animals can the children see? They can see fish. Very good. Do you think fish are the only animals they can see? What other animals do you think are here? So in the picture, we have some fish, right? We have the boy and the girl, and we have some fish. But what do you think? There's something down here. What's this? What's this thing down here? What do you think this is? A starfish? Seaweed? Dolphin? Coral? Yeah, there's something down here. Let's find out what it is. Here we go. Let's see. Ooh, what's that? What's that thing there? SpongeBob. It's an octopus. Very good. Yeah, very nice. We've got an octopus. Lots of things can live in the sea. Yeah, lots of things can live in the sea. Let's go back to this page. Can chameleons live in the sea? Can chameleons live in the water? No, they can't, but there are some other things down here. So if we go down, here's my ocean. So here's my ocean. And what do you think is in the ocean here? Well, this one, you know already. This is our octopus. Our octopus is in the ocean, right? I've got two more. I've got two more here. So what do you think? What is the first one? What do you think the children can see? Sharks, Larissa, good job. Yeah, this one is a shark. There we go. I think he's a reef shark. Very nice, very good. And what about this one down here? What do you think this one is? Turtle? No, not a turtle. A megalodon? No, not a megalodon. A frog? No, not a frog. Starfish? Not a starfish. Not a whale. Not a sea cat. Not Ariel. No. She works for Disney, not for us. A squid? No. Oh, nobody's got it yet. Tuna? Ah, there we go. Someone said it. A crab. Very good. And he's a nasty looking crab, that one. Wow. But you know lots of sea animals. That's really cool. That's really cool that you know so many animals. Very good. Okay. So let's go back to here. So maybe we finished our reading for today, but let me just show you what we're going to do next time. We're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about grammar, but you know this already. Look, I've shown you this already. Yeah. Is there a boat in the water? No, there isn't. Are there fish in the water? Are there red chameleons? Yes, there are. Are there white chameleons? Yes, there are. We've talked about this already. Next time, this is so easy to learn because we've already done it. Good job. And then there's some activities we can do next time as well, but not today, not today. And then there's also, phonics. We've got to finish phonics next time. And there's a song, we'll do that another time. But I want to show you something special today. I want to show you this. We're going to see this another time, but let's have a quick look. What's this? What do you see? What do you see? Kites, yeah. These are kites. Where are the kites? Where are the kites? There at the beach. Yeah, everything's at the beach, right? Lots of people at the beach, kites at the beach, lots of things at the beach. They're in the sky at the beach. Very good, Jose. Very nice. Okay, now this one has a video. Right? There's a video here. And I'm going to show you a little bit of the video, but I'm not going to give you the sound. I've turned the sound off. No sound. Okay. I want you to watch. Now, I know some of you may not see the video very clearly. That's okay. Don't worry. Right. But we'll play along. Okay. So let's see. What colors can you see in this kite? What colors can you see? What colors can you see? Blue. It's a rainbow. Yeah. Red. Yep. Orange. Yeah, lots of colors on this kite. Yeah. Wow, it's an interesting looking kite. What else do we have here? Let's take a look. Let's see what else is in this video. I think there's some more here. Oh, wow, look at this. Wow, that's a lot of kites. They look pretty cool. We can learn about these kites next time, okay? We're just looking at them today. Yeah, nice, lots and lots of kites. Have you flown a kite before? Have you flown a kite before? Yeah. You have? What color was it? No, you haven't. Never. Okay, that's it. We have to do a class project. We have to make kites and we have to fly kites. You can make a kite, you can fly a kite. Okay, cool. It was a tiger. You had a tiger kite? Wow, that's cool. Yeah. You know how to make a kite? Good job, Ryan. You can show us next time how to make a kite. Okay, because you can see down the bottom here, Ryan, this is for you. We have a project to make a kite in the bottom corner. We'll do that next time. Okay, very good. Okay, so wrapping things up. So what I've tried to do is just walk through lots of little pieces of the unit so you can kind of see them. But now I'm going to hand back to Kath so she can, from the author's point of view, she can kind of debrief a little about what I did and what's in the book. And Kath, if you want me to go to a particular page, just tell me and I'll walk back through it for you.
Great. Thank you so much, Andrew. That was a brilliant lesson. I enjoyed it. I liked doing the mask and the snorkel and the breathing. That was all really good fun. So thank you. And I can see lots of people really enjoyed it. Look, someone's saying, I wish you were my teacher. Isn't that nice? So I just want to wrap up very quickly because we need to leave a bit of time for questions. So I just wanted I mean, Andrew's shown you a little bit, but just to show you how the book works, like one unit, so that you can see how it all fits together. So we start off with our opener page at the beach, and every single opener page, and you know this, if you know National Geographic learning books, you will know that we always have absolutely stunning photographs, and certainly in Imagine we have gorgeous photographs, and you saw with Andrew all the different activities that you can do, and I'm sure you'd confirm, Andrew, that a lot of those ideas are in the teacher's book, aren't they?
Yeah, or they're routine things that you do as a teacher, and you just do them with every photo, right? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So lots of ideas, and you were using the online practice, is that right? Is that the
yes
program?
Yeah,
that
so this
using?
it's the classroom presentation tool, so the digital tool that goes with the books to help present it in a fun way. So online or in a classroom.
Yeah, so that's great. You can see how really nice that is to use, and how it allows you to add your own little bits and pieces. So yeah, we start off with the opener page, then we move to vocabulary on the next page. Yeah, and you can see that we always have these very nice clear pictures, so that it's really easy for students to be able to look back themselves and remind themselves of what the words are, and they're nice and simple and clear. And also there's another big picture as well, and you saw with Andrew that there are fun ways of practicing it. He was using a lot of movement with his hands, a lot of different gestures, and that's a great way to teach vocabulary at this level, so that's really nice.
Another thing I'd mention here as well is that these are all photos. They're not line art or anything as well. It makes it more real, right?
Yeah, it does, absolutely. And I think particularly for sort of our digital native children, you know, our students who are so accustomed to seeing photographs everywhere, they really enjoy looking at those. It really means something. Then it moves on to the grammar, and you will have seen that, you know, Andrew was modeling that all the time. There is, there isn't, there are, there aren't. And there's a little chant to practice the grammar. And then once the grammar's embedded, goes on to the main reading lesson. And the reading, of course, is on the audio as well. You've got another lovely picture which you can use to pick out the main vocabulary from that reading. And then it goes on to the comprehension questions. So that's all very nicely prepared. And the reading, as Andrew pointed out, the reading also contains some of the phonics work that you'll move on to later. So it's all very, very carefully planned, so that the children are working at exactly the right level and they see all the things they need to see for that stage. So after the reading and the comprehension work, they go on to their second grammar, which is an extension really of the first. So this time it's negative in question forms for there is, there are. And then you just got a little glimpse on the next page. You got a little glimpse of the phonics. And we always have a nice chant with the phonics, which you can see there as our B activity. So there's a nice chant, you get to practice it, some practice activities, and then a little game to play as well. And then it finishes up with our lesson 6 is a song. So I love using songs in the classroom, and they're really, really motivating for young people. And it will be a song, obviously, on the next topic. So it's a very nicely put together, and then a game as well. And then we also have a video every 2 units, a game and a video every 2 units. And so the video will be about the Kite Festival. So that's basically how a unit works. And you can see with Andrew how it gives you the possibility to add lots of your own ideas. If you want to add more pictures and do some drawings and do some games, there's loads of opportunity to do that. If you want to just pick up the book and work with the book, it's all there for you. You don't really even need to look at the teacher's book if you don't have time. It's very nice and simple to use. So I hope that's given you some idea. And I know that Faye will give you some links probably to where you can get some sample materials if you want to look at it more. There's a website for the course as well. And we have about 5 minutes left for questions, so I think we should go on to that now.
Yeah. Faye, welcome back.
Yes, thank you. And thanks, Andrew and Kath, for such an inspiring, fun and engaging session. That was amazing. We do have a couple of questions here. So let me start with one question that asks, well, you, especially Andrew, showed this a little bit, but if there's any other examples that you can show of activities to motivate young learners in the classroom. I feel like Imagine, it's all about that, right? But is there anything that you would like to add that teachers can use?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've always used I got taught when I was taught to be an English teacher about almost 20 years ago. Um, it was a little bit of a different time, but a lot of the same methods still apply, of like using your body a lot, especially with young learners, because they have a lot of energy that they want to use. They don't just want to sit in chairs, right? So having the students move a lot, having them chant, and I know, Kath, you're big into music and songs and using that in education as well. But any of those things you can do to vary whatever you're doing. Don't make it the same, like from minute to minute. Try and do something that's a little bit different to keep the kids doing something different, keep them engaged, give them a good experience in the classroom. And that's, I think, a big part of it. It's the experience that they have in the relationship between the students, the teacher, and the class environment, right? That's kind of what makes students motivated to come back and want to do more, right?
Yeah.
So that's a lot of it, I think. But you would have seen me today. I use a ton of questions, no matter what I'm teaching. I'm just question all the time, because it makes my students give answers, and then all of a sudden they're participating, they're doing something, right?
And I think the other thing, Andrew, is if you ask questions where the students are able to give answers, they feel like they're succeeding, and that's so good. So you give them the opportunity to answer questions that are easy to answer, then they feel really good and they feel really motivated. And I really like that about the way that you were teaching.
Yeah. The other one, of course, is to keep them motivated as well, because some kids are really shy about speaking and getting it wrong, right? Yeah. So the other one is, I don't even blink. If a student says to me, is like, the sun in the beach, I'm like, yeah, that's right. The sun is in the sky at the beach. Just straight away recast, and they're like, yeah, that's right. And you just keep going, right? And they learn with time, but it just, nothing is wrong. Nothing is really wrong. It's like, good try, let's do it again, right? Yeah. So
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. A positive attitude with any learner, right? I think it's a great start for any teacher. Awesome. There's another question here from Marcina, and she asks how to work on body language. Yeah. And Andrew, you can let us know about that, because
I actually, when I first started out, like doing a lot of this stuff, one of my trainers, again, like 20 years ago, was saying, don't worry, you're not teaching sign language. Right? It's just like, do something that makes sense, but be consistent. So if this is snorkel, it's always snorkel. This is cell phone, make that always cell phone, whatever. This is sun hat, just use that for sun hat, right? Whatever you do, just do it, like keep it, right? Don't throw that action away or the body language away. But a lot of the time, sometimes I can't think of something. So I just ask my students, right? I'm like, what are we doing for ice cream? And one of my students goes, and I'm like, great, that's our ice cream body language, right? And so I'm like, yeah, cool, right? So I just ask my students a lot of the time, and they love it. Again, when you use what they give you in your class, then they're like, hey, this is my class, right? And they think it's more fun too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. I think we'll see from the chat box that everyone is thanking both of you for all the tips and inspiring ideas of how to teach young learners. We are getting to the end of our time here session. And before we wrap up, I just want to go over some other useful information for you. First of all, and Andrew, do you have the Imagine page up?
Yeah, I'll get it for you. I've just stopped sharing, so
wonderful.
That's fine, and then I'll get the page.
Thank you so much. Yes. Just a reminder, before we wrap up, immediately after the session, you will be directed to a feedback survey to let us know what you thought. So Zoom will direct you to that page. So please share your feedback with us about your session. There were a lot of questions about, how to get the books, how do we learn more about the program. So I am dropping some links here for you. But if you're interested in learning more about using Imagine in the classroom, you can visit. Oh, sorry, there was something weird with the sound there. You can visit eltngl.com/forward imagine. This is the page that you're looking at right now. So in this page, you will be able to, find an interactive sampler, take a tour, sample one of the units, and actually the units that Andrew just presented to us, level 1, unit 8 at the beach. So you can actually have that on a sample, and you can actually try it out on your classroom as well. So please do that. There's videos and there's more information about the authors, and everything that you need to know about Imagine. And
one person, Faye, I'll just add, one person was asking about grade K students, and there is a starter level as well, which might suit those kind of students too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all in there. And we also have a contact sales rep button on the top menu. On the top.
Oh, yeah, sorry, up here.
Yes.
About. Yeah.
Contact sales rep.
Sorry, there we go.
To the left. Yes, right there. So if you can check there as well if you want to bring Imagine or any of the National Geographic learning programs to your classroom. Through this page, you can contact your local rep in your region and ask for more information and get the books. So yeah, so pretty much this is what we have for you. Again, I just wanted to reinforce that immediately after the session, you will be directed to a feedback survey to let us know. Be sure to join our online community for teachers of English on our social media as well, on our eltngl.com page. And we will offer up to-date information about events, practical classroom tips, exciting real-world content, and new product information. So again, I would like to thank every single one of you who spent this very fun, engaging hour with us. Thank you both, Kath and Andrew, one more time for the fantastic session. And yeah, thanks for joining today, and have a wonderful rest of your day, afternoon, or evening.
Thank you.
Goodbye.